Hey everyone, this is Alex or PolymomoTea, and today I have a tutorial showing you how to make these iconic controllers from the Nintendo series out of shrink plastic, polymer clay, and resin. So first I took a piece of paper and I drew out the outlines of the controllers with a Sharpie. Next I took some rough and ready shrink plastic shrinky dink paper and I flipped over my picture so that the shiny side of the shrink plastic will be on top, and I just drew the outline. So first I did the outer outline of the controller, and then to keep its 3D shape I outlined the middle part, and we're going to stack that on top of each other. And basically I'm going to do the same thing for the other controllers. So for the GameCube controller, here's the outline. And then I outlined the two 8 shaped pieces, which will go on top separately. And for the Super Nintendo I did the same thing. And as you see, I'm kind of interchanging it between my thick Sharpie and my thin Sharpie, and that's just for different details. Next, we're going to cut out the different controllers. And once cut, we'll have pieces like this, and ideally we want to stack them up together like this. So then I shrunk the pieces under my toaster oven according to the instructions of the shrinky dink package. And this is what I meant by stacking, so it has a 3D effect like that, and it looks pretty cool. So next we're going to make the clay pieces, and I didn't show instructions on how to make the clay pieces because essentially I just made a bunch of dots and plush sign shapes, but I baked them and it's nothing special. I just didn't want to show you me finding a bunch of dots all together. So on the bottom layer of the controller I'm going to place some UV resin and smear to all the sides of the controller, and then I'm going to place the top layer of shrink plastic on it. And I'm going to cure that, and once that is cured I'm going to apply another layer of UV resin to the top part of the controller only, and I'm going to place my clay details on, and unfortunately I forgot to press record, so that was me just kind of arranging the details. And once that's fully cured we have our Nintendo 64 controller. And then on the back I'm just going to dome it with some more UV resin. So then we're going to go on to the GameCube controller, and similarly we're going to place a layer of UV resin on the bottom layer and place our two little pieces on top and let that cure. And once that is cured we're going to add some more UV resin on the second layer of shrink plastic. And we're going to place on our clay details, and this time I actually pressed the record button so you'll see me actually putting it on. And in the middle of the controller we're going to place some UV resin as well and add a little silver button for the home start button. So instead of doming the controller with some clear resin, I decided to add some purple pigment to it just to color it. And I wasn't sure if the color would show through the two layers of shrink plastic, so this was kind of a gamble on my part. But once I spread that and cured, I flipped it over, and you really can see the purple, which I was very impressed with. So for the Super Nintendo controller, we don't have any parts to stack on top of it, so I'm just applying some UV resin on top and adding the little clay pieces. And then I'm adding some UV resin with some purple pigment again. And I'm going to put it only on the back of the circular part of the controller because that's a different color of gray than the rest of the controller. And letting that cure, and once that was cured I just domed the rest of it with some clear resin. And here is the Super Nintendo controller. I really do like it how I kept it kind of clear for the gray controllers. I think it looks really nice. So here are the 3 controllers, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and GameCube. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will do other controllers, so Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch I will be doing, but thank you for watching.